Twilio SendGrid makes it super simple to send your first email in 5 minutes or less. In this video, we'll show you how it works with Python, but if you use any of the programming languages appearing on screen right now, there's a helper library just for you. Here's how it works. Your app makes a post request to mail/send over on SendGrid, and SendGrid sends an email directly to your user's inbox. It's so simple, we'll just do it right now. We'll start by creating an API key. Head into SendGrid and go under Settings to API Keys. Hit the Create API Key button and give it a name. Go to Restricted Access and scroll down to where it says Mail Send and expand that, and click on where it says Mail Send. Scroll down and hit the Create and View button. Copy the key that appears here and store it in an environment variable. Over in the terminal, I'll use pip to install the SendGrid helper library for Python. Once that's done, I'll create a new file called send-email.py, and I'll open it in a text editor. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code, but feel free to use whatever you want. Up at the top here, we'll import OS to have access to environment variables, and then from the SendGrid helper library, we'll import the SendGrid API client and the mail object. Speaking of the mail object, we'll use it to create a new mail. The from email address will be me@brentschooley.com. The to email address will be brentfromtwilio@gmail.com. Then we'll specify a subject line that says sending with Twilio SendGrid is fun. Then the plain text content will pass in and says easy to do anywhere, even with Python. And then the HTML content will just wrap that in strong tags to make it bold. Inside of a try, we'll create a SendGrid API client and use the os.environ to fetch our SendGrid API key. Next, we'll use the SendGrid API client to send the message that we created above, and then we'll print out some information like the status code, body, and headers of the email to make sure that we know that it was sent correctly. Just in case something goes wrong, we'll log out the exception message in that case. Head to the terminal and run python sendemail.py, and you'll see the header information print out, and if you go to your inbox, there's your email. Has the right content and was sent from and to the right email addresses. Just in case you forget anything we did here, head to your account and go to Setup Guide, click where it says Integrate using our Web API, and then click the Choose button underneath Web API. Click on Python and you'll find all of the code and all of the steps that we went over in this video right here on this page.